Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Birdman Outdoors. Today I just kind of wanted to talk about a couple different types of logs and firewood that I deal with, and maybe it's something that people getting into firewood are curious about, but that is basically, you know, I get wood a couple different kinds of way. One, tree service type wood that they drop off, you know, who knows what, and then like the log pile over my left shoulder there, but you know, buying firewood poles, you know, and what the expectations is for either and what you're planning to do with either thing. So just kind of want to show you what I've been working through here this morning as far as my tree service piles, and how I kind of go about it and what you can expect, and then I'll kind of take it to the other firewood pole pile and show you what to expect there. There is a little trade-off either way, and probably different equipment that you should have that I don't have all of it, but or nearly any of it, but just some stuff that will make your life easier if you do get a lot of tree service wood. So stick with me, and here we go. All right, so down here I've been working on my tree service wood piles. I've gotten quite a bit of this whole area down here all cleaned up. I've been doing a lot of it at night because when I get home from work at night, it's dark out, so I can't really shoot videos, and kids have been busy with sports and whatnot, but just kind of working my way over towards the back here and kind of to where I'm stacking boiler wood. This, I'm going to make a separate video on this. I got a couple of these hollowed out logs here. I got something interesting that I'm going to try to do with those, but yeah, just kind of working through this stuff. And when you're dealing with tree service wood, you never know what you're gonna get as far as species and how ugly or straight it could be. Some of this stuff in here isn't too bad. Some of it, like this, is just massive. I mean, this piece here is probably still over 100 pounds, you know, that I'll have to take care of. And same thing with this big slice here, you know. It's big time stuff, so you got to be able to handle that. And then the other thing, you know, you do end up with a lot of ugly pieces, crotch pieces like this here. If you're gonna plan on selling firewood and your source is tree service wood, you're gonna have a lot of stuff that's not sellable or usable to a customer, thing of that nature. So like I say, here I got the outdoor wood boiler, so that's where all the ugly junk stuff just gets basically chopped up to dry out, and I stack it up over here. And like I say, there's no glass door on the wood boiler, so it doesn't matter what this stuff looks like, it'll burn in there. So you got to have a source to get rid of that if you're working straight on tree service wood. The other thing, you know, that would be helpful, one would be, you know, my splitter flips up, but a log lift on a splitter would be extremely helpful too for a lot of these bigger pieces, because you will end up with big pieces. You know, this load here doesn't look too bad, but when you really get into it, I mean, these are huge chunks of firewood. You know, just look at my hand on there. You know, you cut that into a 16-inch round and you're gonna have trouble lifting it. You know, and even some loads, you know, might be this variety, all limb wood. You know, again, not real good for selling for firewood at all. But like I say, I just chop that up into 3-foot pieces and that goes in my boiler stack. And again, here's another example. This load came, and this is all pine. You know, some people sell pine for firewood. I haven't really had much of a demand for it at all. But what I'll do is I'll just buck this up into about 2-foot pieces and quarter them and then stack them in the boiler wood pile. So like I say, I'm getting use out of everything here. So in my setup over here, I kind of, right now it's pretty good because I'm close to where I'm stacking my boiler wood. So the junk I can toss off to the side for the boiler stack, and then when I get straight grain 16-inch pieces, I throw them in the back of the UTV, and then I'll go stack them on my pile. So there's quite a bit more labor to deal with this tree service wood, and you gotta really take some time to process it down if you're going to sell it, or even if you're using it for your own use. There's a lot of time put into processing it. You're not, and that's kind of the trade-off. You're getting the wood for free, but you're putting a lot of time into it. Whereas if we go and look at, you know, getting a load of firewood poles, you know, here in northeast Wisconsin, we're about, depending on the size load, $1,200 to $1,300 per load. But you're dealing with mostly straight stuff, not a lot of knots, not big crotch pieces, stuff that's all manageable size to deal with. If you look, this is one of the bigger ones here, you know, not too terrible. A lot of the stuff is basically hand size, you know, and down. You can get loads that are a little bigger, a little smaller, just depends on the variety, but this stuff really cuts down on your processing and the labor portion of it. So you kind of have that trade-off to work through. So just something that to consider if you're getting into firewood or looking at selling firewood. You know, if you met a tree service guy that said he'll bring you all the wood that you want, and you know, you kind of get big eyes thinking that it's going to be easy. It's still a heck of a lot of work, and like I say, you could still end up with something like this monster that they dropped off. So, and that's kind of the other thing. If you tell them you don't want it, they're not going to deliver you wood anymore. So it's kind of got to take everything that they get. But this is another area that basically worked through getting everything cut up, boiler wood and saleable wood, and I'll basically start picking my way through it. Good stuff I'll take for sale, and boiler wood will go in the other pile. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over today. And like I say, I got the day off from work, so trying to get as much of this stuff done as I can. And weather's been relatively favorable right now. So the other thing too is, if you don't get these logs cut up, it gets too cold out, they will freeze right tight to the ground, and they're dang near impossible to move. So if you get them up into pieces, at least you can hit them with the sledge and they'll pop free. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna go stack this wood here and continue about processing this stuff down. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like and the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. There's been a lot of new subscribers to the channel here lately, so let's keep it going. So thank you. Have a good day.